never gonna get picture.
All right, all right, all right. Everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in. I'm giving everybody just one more minute. One more minute. Come on in. Make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you tag. Make sure you share this broadcast. This is Money Talk Mondays. I am your host with the most, Jawaan Sween, and this is going to be an amazing episode. I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving weekend. I hope everybody had time well spent with their family, with their friends, with their children, with their loved ones. I know I did. I know I ate some amazing food. I know you probably did as well. But listen, I've been waiting all week long to come back on this day on Money Talk Mondays to broadcast this show. I'm telling you, this is going to be an episode that you do not want to miss. So I want everybody from all across the world, wherever you're watching from, wherever you're listening from, we want y'all to tune in. You could be driving, you can be in your kitchen cooking, you can be, on your lunch break, you can be at home just chilling and relaxing. I want everybody from all across the world to stop what you're doing and for a brief minute, we want y'all to tap into this broadcast and we want y'all to share. We want y'all to put all of the questions and comments in the chat. And I want y'all to definitely just tap in and listen to this awesome episode that we're about to get ready to begin. Listen, I have a special guest on this afternoon that I'm going to be bringing on in a minute. But again, I want to encourage everybody to share this broadcast. I want everybody to continue to tag everybody that you know, your friends, your family, your spouse, your loved ones, your children. Everybody needs to learn this information. It's absolutely critical and absolutely essential in order for us to grow in the area of finance. So without further ado, listen, I'm going to introduce my guest that I'm going to be interviewing. His name is Ken Stevens Jr. This man is a business consultant, right? This man is a social media influencer. This man is a husband. He is a marketer. He is a business leader. He helps individuals create LLCs. He also helps coaches start businesses and obtain clients. He does so many things all across the board. He got so many things going on in the pipeline. So without further ado, I'm going to no longer belabor the hour. But again, I want everybody to tap in as I begin to bring this brother on. I want everybody to help me welcome my man, my brother, Mr. Ken Stevens Jr. We about to bring him on, and we about to get it on and popping. We about to get it on and popping. We about to get it on and popping. Mr. Ken, how you doing, my man?
Hey there, peace, fam. How we doing?
I'm good, family. All is well, man. How was your Thanksgiving, bro?
It was all good. Just chill with family, the regular things. Just enjoying the time off, really.
Listen, man, I feel you, man. I feel you, man. But listen, I thank you for joining, man. It's
Oh yeah,
definitely been an honor. It's been a pleasure. Thank you for tapping in with me on this afternoon. I know you're a very busy gentleman, but listen, man, we about to get right into it, man. You've been definitely inspiring so many people all across the globe. I've been following you for a minute now, man, and you really just been, doing your thing in business as a consultant, as an entrepreneur, just as a person that is providing value in the business sector. So I
facts.
definitely thank you for being an inspiration, man, and for really just putting in the work and doing everything that you're doing, and really making the moves that you're making, man. So definitely wanted to bring you on, and I definitely wanted to just interview you, man, and bring you on to basically ask you questions about what it is that you do, so that you can just let the audience know who Ken Stevens Jr. is, man. So let's get into it, man. So the first question I have for you, Mr. Stevens, is who is Ken Stevens Jr., man? Let the people know who you are, bro.
Ooh, that's a loaded question, but as far as Ken Stevens Jr., man, if I had to just sum it up and put it in a box for a lot of people, I'm on the personal side. Myself, I'm a hard worker, um, emotional intelligence, somebody who executes, get the job done. Very coachable, teachable as well. That's been like one of my superpowers since I've been a child. Growing up, to give them a little bit of background, former athlete, played high school football, weightlifting, and college as well. Went to Bethel University and FAU, Florida Atlantic University. down here. I'm in South Florida, so that's been a lot of my life, making sure I have academic success as well as athletic success, and using those things to propel myself in life and in business, because those really are, my foundation and how I was able to get to where I'm at and pushing myself forward in business. Because as we know, starting a business, running a business, being in business is all three different phases that you go through, and you may not necessarily be at the best phase of your life. So, that's pretty much me, like in a nutshell, if I had to put it. And I love making money, so that's another thing I say. If I
Indeed,
say nothing else.
indeed, indeed, indeed. Yeah, man. So, what was your upbringing like, man? Tell everybody where you from, and where did you grow up, man?
I grew up here in South Florida in Palm Beach County. Growing up, I would say I had a good childhood. Growing up playing football, that was the first sport I did outside of track. I started that around 8 years old. I had a lot of movement when I was younger. I went to, I think, four different elementary schools. So you just imagine that it's only 5 years you were at an
Yeah, yeah,
elementary
yeah,
school. So it was a lot of movement. My parents, they weren't together, but they was like they co-parented. That's what I'll say. So it wasn't nothing like, I can't say I came from a broken home. All of that stuff people get into. Like my
yeah.
my parents, they made sure we were straight. But far as growing up, I would say to start off, something that really molded me into who I am today. I was around 12 years old, and I used to like to fight. Like so, and it wasn't like I liked to fight. It was like I liked it in the sense of, I would be the person that would bully the bullies. So
Mm,
that's why I had liked it, because like I would get justice for the smaller people that would get picked on. But it was this one fight in particular that happened when I was 12 and in sixth grade, and this kid was like picking on one of my cousins at school, and I didn't have nothing to do with it. I was trying to stay out of it, lay low, because I already knew, like, I'm already on the kind of their radar or whatever. And then he came at me, and he was like, "Oh, you think because you with your cousin and da da da?" I was like, "What I got to do with it?" He's like, "Oh, you want to do something?" He's like, "Hit me, hit me." And I ain't the person. You ain't finna provoke me too much. Like, and
hello.
yeah, I was like, I punched him, and that's when I learned my strength. Like, I knocked out three of his teeth. So, and I still got the dent in my hand from when I punched him. So,
Wow, that's
um,
crazy,
nah, yeah, it was
crazy.
like blood everywhere. It was really bad when I look back at it as like a child. If I was a parent, you know what I'm saying? And but I learned in that moment that you couldn't just fight and not have consequences. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? Like
Yeah,
serious consequences. Because I walked away. I literally turned my back, walked away, and kept walking to the bus loop like nothing happened. Like I was American gangster or something.
yeah, yeah.
Like then I get to the bus, and then I see AP just running, 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 like just running. I'm like, where the hell they going? And they get up. Oh, he right there. Get him. I'm like, damn, what's going on? It's like, what we getting you for? I was like, I don't, I'm lost at this point, because I'm just like, I know I punched him, but like, I literally punched him and just walked off. I didn't even like look at him or nothing like that.
Yeah.
And then they sat me down, was like, you knocked out his teeth. Like, there's blood everywhere by the music room. And there's like, did you use a weapon? So that was a whole thing, because they thought I had like a keypad from the gym, and I
Mm,
punched him. And
wow.
I was like, why would I do that? Like, I was like, I can fight, but I ain't like, I don't know, I'm not malicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to take nobody out. Like, but so in that, I had to go through anger management classes. Um, I had like a person assigned to me for just to check in with me. What else they had me in therapy? Like, it was just I had to do community service hours. It was just a bunch of things where I learned that actions have consequences. And
Yeah.
that was like a huge part of my upbringing, because it really molded me to learn that, like, all right, first and foremost, I don't want to be fighting like that, because clearly this is the result of that. And then I also learned too, because I was suspended. I went to the mall with my mom. I'll never forget it, like it was yesterday. And we were walking into the mall, and one of my teachers from fourth grade saw me. He was like, "Oh, I heard about what happened." And I'm sitting there like, "What you talking about?" He's like, "The fight." And then it was like that was the first time I remember in my like life of feeling embarrassment, because I was like, bro, like word travel like that in my head, like and he's somebody I never wanted to disappoint. And like from that
Mm,
moment on, I was like, I just vowed to like, change how I was and like, just having that mean streak in me and everything like that because it was just like that was just really embarrassing, even though like they didn't blame I didn't get in real trouble because I went through with everything they asked, but also I was also an honor roll student. So that's what really saved me. And he
mm,
also provoked a lot of other people. So that's why they weren't able to press charges on me. So because they were like, well, you can try to press charge. He told, I guess that's what was communicated. But at the end, it just wasn't no point in them doing it because it would just seem like you're taking a kid that made a mistake, but he's still like an honor roll student. Like
mm,
it was
yeah.
just, it wouldn't have made sense. But that's something from my upbringing, like that always stick with me that, shaped me into who I am today. But going into my high school life, I got in no trouble whatsoever. Just I think it was one referral, but they ripped it up because my mom came up to the school. It was my ninth grade year. I was on the varsity football team, and I didn't know at that time it was rare for somebody to be in ninth grade and be on varsity. Like so, a music teacher. We were reading, and I had read. I'm a fast reader. I could read really fast,
Mm,
and comprehend the information too and he thought that I didn't read it or something like that. And he just yelled out in front of the class, "You can't play football forever." And I was like, "What?" So now that 12-year-old me is like boiling up. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, I just walked out the classroom and I ain't say nothing. And once again in high school, I didn't know you could just walk out of classroom and no consequences. And then what happened. I went to the front office, whatever. They said they wrote a referral, but my mom came up, they ripped it up. But I learned in that moment too in my upbringing that um, people see what they want to see. You know what I'm saying?
mm,
Like they didn't see a 15-year-old, 14-year-old that's just there playing football, trying to have fun. I didn't even know about the NFL for real, honestly, when I was in high school. Like
yeah.
I was just worried about going to college. Like NFL, that wasn't in my dreams, or to play football forever, to be completely honest. But that's something, later on down the line, like as far as college. But the rest of high school, really good. I was the captain of the football team, weightlifting team. I was number 9 in my class out of 340 students, and I graduated with 12 college credits, 3.5 GPA. So got athletic and academic scholarships as far as going to college. So it was like really really good going through high school. I mean, the only other major difference that happened was my senior year. My mother, she passed away, so that
Mm,
was like one of those pivotal moments in my life. So
mm,
that's something that turned me up too, though. And I went to therapy, so I will say this: like for a lot of our people who are on their entrepreneurial journey, their life journey, whatever it may be, I say that therapy, getting the right therapist, is something that's really important because that's something that I feel that saved me and kept me on that path of what I was doing and coming into the life that I'm in much faster. Because if I didn't, I know it would have been stagnated.
indeed, man. Wow, wow, wow. Powerful, man. That's powerful.
Yeah,
So let's delve in, man. Let's delve into the
yeah,
questions. For the audience, those that's watching, again, I got my man Ken Stevens Jr. I call my man KJ Stevens. You know what I'm saying? He's in the building right now. He's on the live. So I want everybody, for those that just came on, he's definitely on. He's gonna be dropping some gems, for these next couple
sir.
of moments. So listen, the first question I have for you, or the second technically, is who or what inspired you to create the business that you currently have right now?
Ooh, currently, as far as the Black agenda, when I first started it, I was selling clothes. So a lot of
Mm,
people don't know that.
mm,
And that started because of it's gonna sound well probably cliche at this point, but it was because of the George Floyd thing and all of that happening.
mm.
So it was back in 2020 when I started it. Now I started it with clothes because they had that message going around NBA everybody where they was wearing a shirt that said I can't breathe or something like that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I just really didn't agree with that because I just felt like, words have power and you're wearing a shirt, you're wearing somebody's dying words. That was just weird as hell.
Mm.
Like I'm not
Wow.
gonna lie. And so I created the shirt, We Can Breathe or We Will Breathe. That's what it
Yeah.
was. We Will Breathe on the shirt. So I had the We Will Breathe shirt, then I had the logo. It's like this right here on one shirt. Um, and I had a few hats. So I was selling clothes. That went really, really well for like the first like 6 months or so. But what I started to realize was that with clothing, you have to have somebody behind you pushing the brand a little bit, or you got to have your little bread on deck to make sure that thing go to where it's supposed to go. And I just realized clothes weren't my passion or gonna be my life's work real quick. It was nice to make some quick money, get the message out there, help for brand awareness. But I started to realize that I could use my brain more than I had to do like physical labor. And that's just off the strength of who I am and who I've been my entire life. And that's when I got into the realm of like looking at what are all the mistakes that I made that I could help other people out with. And that's when I got into doing the business consulting.
Wow, that's dope, man. Definitely powerful. So my next question I have for you, bro, is what are the biggest mistakes that first time entrepreneurs make?
Well, I would say the biggest mistake is when they get like their first five clients.
Mm,
If you're doing consulting, or even if you're selling clothes, whatever it may be, I like to call it the mirage. That's what we all go through. It's the mirage. I call it the mirage. So people, you will have like an influx of people, influx of client inquiries, free consultations, whatever you may do. But people think they could ride, that's going to ride the wave of the business for a year, 2 3 years, and they don't know how to get these things in order so that they can sustain them and keep people in their pipeline. And that's one of the biggest issues that I see early on, because people are like, oh, I got 5 clients right now, and da 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 da, and I'm like, well, all right, how did you get these clients? Well, and it's like crickets. It's like, no, you need to be documenting this process and know how the hell you got these clients so we can repeat this process over and over again. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of people, when you starting out, they're not very intentional with the business. That's the biggest part that I'll see. Like, you just want to go in there, you say you want to make some money, da da da, it's a side hustle, whatever it may be, but you still have to be intentional if you want this to be something that could consistently bring you income. But a lot of people starting out, I say that's probably one of the bigger mistakes that I see. And then they don't want to invest in themselves. That would be the other one I would say, because
mm,
they either say they don't have the money, they don't have the time, like whatever it may be. And it's like, how I see it is there's no amount of money that's going to stop me from investing in myself if I know it's going to help me make more money. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
And I think not having that right mindset going into it plagues a lot of people more than anything, because what I tell people is when you start in a business, whatever it may be, is the purpose of starting any business is to make money, right?
right.
But at the end of the day, especially if you're black, you know how to make money a million different ways,
Oh yeah.
right? And you know how to get it. So making money not gonna be the problem. It's gonna be the planning behind it. It's gonna be the systems that you using and how you go about your business consistently. And that's
Indeed.
the part that people sleep on, I think, every single day. And then I tell people you got to ask yourself this one question, when you are getting started. Are you doing this for legacy or are you doing this for hype? You
Mm,
know, is this something that's going to be a long-term play, or are you doing this for something you want to make your money, get up out and be happy? And either one is okay, but just really sit with yourself and know which one you doing it for before you get in here, and then you kind of in a going back and forth with that, and then people are looking at you crazy because you don't really do this for real. Well, it seems as if you don't do this for real.
mm. Indeed, man. Now that's a good point. A lot of our people, man, not bashing them, I love our
Yeah.
people. But yeah, they fail to realize that investing themselves definitely goes a long way, especially in the area of business and financial independence. You got to learn how to invest in yourself, man. We contribute our money to all these other brands, and there's one thing that I read, and it's a gem that I definitely kept in the back of my mind, and I apply it to my life. I think the gem it goes something like this: our goal is not to wear brands, but our goal is to become the brand. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's like we gotta invest in ourselves so that we can become a brand, as opposed to buying other brands, making that company rich when we are broke. You feel what I'm saying? So it's like it doesn't add up. It doesn't make sense to me. So we gotta do a better job of investing in ourselves, especially in our society. Why is it that all of these other ethnicities and backgrounds they can come together, collaborate, and put their money towards something that will help them create generational wealth? But the only society or culture that fails to do that is the black community. You feel me? So
Yeah.
it's just food for thought. So you definitely, touched on something very powerful.
Facts. I got you. And I could add to that. Like one thing that I tell a lot of the clients is, and it's like a light bulb go off for them that I have, is that you are the product, you are the service.
Mm,
Like you don't gotta have the best systems. You don't gotta have the best social media presence. You don't have to be the best speaker. But if you being yourself and you being intentional, people will take that all day. Especially
yeah,
right now, 2023.
yeah,
A lot of people are looking for real people because, from I'll say about the middle of 2020 all the way up to about 2022, it was a lot of lifestyle marketing, it was a lot of PPP and all that stuff flowing through. So people are they're selling you lifestyle, but people realize, that really wasn't it because a lot of those people that fell off or disappeared at this point. So it's just I think that more than anything, people have to lean on right now, especially in our culture as they build themselves up, because people want to deal with real people,
mm.
and give them the real of, and they're relatable.
Indeed, indeed, bro. You definitely hit it right on the head, bro. So the next question I have to ask you is, it's a two-parter. So the
Okay.
first part is, what is a business plan? Because I know this is something that you definitely specialize in, and I know that you can definitely help a lot of clients and a lot of people establish a business plan. So that's the first question. The second question, and how does a person go about getting one established?
All right, how to get it. All right, I was just writing it down. All right, so what is a business plan? All right, so a business plan is basically going to be, depending on how you're going to do it, but I'll say this: business plan is essentially your playbook for your business.
I
And
like that. Like that.
plain as I could put it, it's your playbook for your business. If you don't know sports, I could just tell you this is a summary of your business. Pretty much, you can look at it that way as well. But going back to the playbook portion, when you are having a business plan, this is something that is the foundation for your business, and it's very, very important for you to have, because a lot of people, how I explain it so it's relatable to everybody. Think about a house. Everybody want a house. They be like, oh, to build a house from the ground up. The first thing they do with any building is lay the foundation. That's
Yup.
the very first thing that they have to do. If
Indeed.
your foundation is not solid, the building is gonna come down.
Mm,
So this is what the business plan does. It gives you a solid foundation from the naming of your business to your mission statement, vision statement, the problems that you're going to solve, the problems that are in the business, your target market, your revenue streams. Like all of these things are like super important when you are making a solid foundation for your business plan. And as far as the business plans, you said to how to get it. Now, when you're doing business plans, the one thing I like to say is no business plan is created equal. Now,
mm,
there are guides and there are templates and different things of that nature where they don't deviate too much from one another. So I'm not just going to make it seem like it's this vast difference. But the main two that I tell people to look at when they are doing business plans is you want to look at if you're going to do a lean business plan or you're going to do a comprehensive business plan. Now, when we talk about the lean business plan, most of my clients, that's what we work on, because a lot of them aren't ready for a comprehensive business plan because they just started their business. And I work with business startups. So people who are just getting the game, they want to get the LLC and all of that stuff. So with the lean business plan, this is where you pretty much create like a one pager business plan. It's something short. It may come out to 2 or 3 pages, but something short and it's a nice summary of your business. It's something you could always go back to and keep editing as you build the business out. This is the one that's really solid, and it's the one that'll get you your foot in the door and get the juices flowing for you as far as your business. And it's something you can lean on as you grow in the business, and it'll grow into what we call a comprehensive business plan. Now, with the comprehensive business plan, this is the one that everybody thinks of. It's the only business plan. Is the one that's like 10, 11, 12, 13 pages. That's the
mm.
comprehensive business plan. Now, those are more for my clients that are they're going to be paying me a lot more, obviously, because I'm doing more work. But this is the one for people that are established. They have some type of numbers in their business, and they've been in the game for a little while. So those are really the two that are really, really good. And they could go on the internet, honestly, on Google and look up any of these things. The SBA website has some on there. You could go on liveplan.com. They have templates on there as well. So it's a plethora of places that you would go to do your business plan. But the only thing I tell people to be, cautious of, I know especially if they're working with me, is that these are templated and they don't have the same, I say, flavor. You know what I'm saying? As far as working with somebody who's been doing this and who has kind of niche as far as helping people get their business started.
Mm. I love it, man. Love it. Powerful. So now explain to the audience what an LLC is and what steps can they take to create one.
Oh, LLC, that's easy. Everybody probably have heard of this, but I ain't gonna assume that because that's one thing you can't do in business. I tell people, don't assume people are as smart as they are.
Mm.
But
Right, right.
LLC is a limited liability company. So with the LLC, pretty much this helps your business become registered. You put the state in after a while. Once you get your EIN, you'll put the federal government on notice that you outside with your business, pretty much. All right, because I know a lot of people do business under the table, whatever it may be. But with the LLC, that pretty much legitimizes your business. Now, a lot of people will come under the notion of, I don't need an LLC, I'm just getting started, blah, blah, blah. That's perfectly fine because I tell people you are not wrong because, yes, do your thing, save your money from doing it. But opportunities will come along as you are making that money and you do not want to come into an opportunity. The first thing they're going to ask you, do you have a 501c3 or do you have an S corp, C corp, or LLC?
Mm.
That's going to be one of the first things these people ask you if you're looking at sponsors, you're looking at donors, whatever it may be for your business. Because in the beginning, a lot of people, I believe that they kind of underestimate themselves as far as business. And that's like not a good way of thinking, in my opinion, because you're already putting your business at a deficit by not having it in order for somebody to invest in it and take it serious. Because a person like me, somebody say they have a business, first thing I'm doing, I'm going on the state website and see if you up there. You know
Mm.
what I'm saying? Like, and see what you got going on. Even if it's inactive, long as you had it or something, I was like, all right, they know the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get it. But some people they don't do that stuff. And as far as the LLC, I'll say another thing about it is you open yourself up to a lot of opportunities to get more money, get funding, credit, like business credit, like all of these different things. To have yourself in different social networks because they're gonna want you to have your business registered. And then as well as if you want to hold events and things like that, a lot of these companies want you to be registered under a business.
Right.
So all of those things are important as far as going into an LLC.
Indeed, indeed, indeed. Now, what advice would you give a person or to a person who is thinking about starting their own business? Like, in other words, maybe they have prevented themselves from starting that business because they are afraid to leave their 9 to 5. Maybe because they feel like they may fail within the first 3 to 6 months, or maybe because they just don't believe in themselves. But what advice would you give a person in general, young or old, who is just thinking about starting their business and taking that initiative to begin their journey to entrepreneurship?
First thing I'll say is make sure your mindset is right. You know what
Mm.
I'm saying? Like that's always gonna be number one for me because I feel like a lot of people they don't understand themselves, but you learn a lot about yourself through business. And I feel like you have to go into it with a better understanding of yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, as well, and financially. So those things are probably be the first things you want to take care of before you go into it, because those are all going to be aspects as to how you're going to be successful in the business. Because if we're going to go the mental route, it's like, is your mind clear enough for you to even start a business, have the capacity to take on the train of thought that goes into running a business? And then we go to the spiritual. If we're talking about the spiritual, for me, business is like one of the most spiritual things that you could do, in my opinion, because you have to get up every day if you have a job connected to it or not, knowing that whatever money you make is fully reliant on you, your actions, and your behaviors. So you have to have a lot of faith in yourself and whatever else you believe in to make sure that's going to happen. What you eat, I mean, what you kill is what you eat. That's what I tell people when
Mm.
it comes to it. So you have to be spiritually intact to know that's what's going to happen and you can handle that as well. And then as far as the physical part, are you fit enough to take this journey? And I ain't saying you got to be six packed out, 22-inch on, like nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But It's like physically, are you fit to, hey, I gotta go drive over here, I gotta go drive over there. What are your eating habits like? Are you eating the fuel that can fuel you, something that ain't finna you instead of going get the the Jamaican plate down the street with the curry and all that on it and rice and peas and all that, you go like, all right, let me go get a smoothie so that I can continue my day. I ain't worried about falling asleep while I'm out here trying to shake and bake on the job and then go to meetings after work. So that's the physical aspect, and then financially is one of the more important ones. A lot of people, I never have problem with people, having jobs or anything as far as like doing business. But financially, you have to make sure it makes sense for you to do the business first. Because if you know you want to start a business, I tell people the first thing I do when we get on the consultation, people like, hey Ken, I see you out there killing it. They all excited. They trying to pump me up, like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah,
blah da da, like woo woo woo. I'm like, all right, bet, yeah, you know what I do. All right, you have a good understanding. I've been watching you, and I'm like, all right, bet. I want to work with you. I'm sure. I trust you, man. And like it's like the same thing every time. I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm doing the exploration questions. And then I ask, have you put a budget together to get help with this?
mm,
And they look at me crazy every time. Every time.
wow, wow, yeah, man, that's important. That's important.
And that's the financial
Important.
aspect of it. It's
Yeah,
like how you say you want to start a business, but you never created a budget to start a business. That's
mm,
crazy as hell to me.
yeah,
So
indeed.
a lot of the times, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I agree with you, man.
Yeah, so a lot of the times, that stops the process of us working with people because I tell them, all right, bet we're not going to be able to do this right now. So let's create a financial plan based on what you have coming in. I was like, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not none of that. But if you're giving me real numbers, I can give you a breakdown on how we can make this happen. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? Like,
yeah,
so, and that be the first thing that we do with a lot of the clients, and I do that for free just to make sure they on the right track to get themselves started. And then I tell them even if it's not with me, like I don't want you to go to somebody else and you get whooped out of your money because some people will just take what you got. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then you be asked out. You know what I'm saying? Like, because it was I had a young lady come to me like a week or two ago. And she's been watching for a long time, and I've actually seen that she like watched me. She's bought T-shirts. Like it's been 3 years she's been watching me, and then she finally like got on a consultation and da 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 da. And then she's telling me, she only got $200 to her name, and she's living out a car right now. I said, listen, honey, um, I can't help you right now, and
mm,
I'm not that type of person. I was like, we don't do that. I was like, my saying is, I know it's funny, but I tell people you will not say that you ain't eat this week because of the black agenda. All right.
mm, mm.
so
Yeah,
so my thing is like we don't do that. I tell you, you're not in the right space for this. Continue to consume my free content and things of that nature. And as you grow, then we come back to this. You're just not ready yet. And then if you're in that space of living like that, then that means that you have some mental, physical, and spiritual things that you need to work on and financial before we get to this part of getting to the business. And that's why I say those are some of the most important advice I could give to anybody when they get this thing cranked up. Write down your ideas, man. Get some sort of plan formulated for yourself so that you can make it real. Because a lot of people they keep a lot of the ideas in their head, and I don't know if it's from a trauma response or something they went through. They don't want people to know. They want people to steal their ideas. You know what I'm saying? And I tell people all the time, like, you probably did nothing that nobody else haven't done. Like, and that's not me being cynical or anything like that. It's just like that's the truth at this point, you
yeah,
know. But I was like, just make sure you put it out there because I was like, people don't know if you don't tell them.
indeed, indeed. Well said, man. Well said. So now, what makes your company stand out from all the other businesses in your niche?
Oh yeah, so we killing them. So the thing that makes us stand out is the simple fact that we do business plans and the LLCs. So it's two components to it that we are out. I would say we're outdoing people in. Anybody could go do you an LLC. You can go on what's the name, Legal Zoom right now, or Inc. whatever file. You go do it. But because I did that, that's why I'm saying this. But what I came to realize is that these people get LLCs. and then they don't know what the hell to do with them
Yeah.
because there's no plan attached to it. So this is where we beat people. I'm like, so you're gonna go get your LLC, but you don't know what you finna do with it. You don't have no solid plan on it. You don't know how you finna make money. You don't know what product or service you finna have. And then people just sit back like, and I'm like, come on now, we got to make it make sense.
Yeah.
So, and that's the part where honestly we beat a lot of people out. And then on the other side of things is the simple fact that a lot of people like convenience, which is perfectly fine. But with the convenience part, they're not getting real people on the phone. They're talking to a lot of automated systems, and people have a lot of questions. Us, we thrive on customers.
You still there, brother?
I mean, yeah, I'm
There we
here. All right, I had a phone call coming in, but as far as we thrive on customer service and making sure that we get you on the phone, making sure you understand the process and what we got going on, especially if we get you on, a Zoom call as well, to make sure hey, this is the right decision that you're making. We're not just letting you throw money at a situation. So that's the part where we beat a lot of people and we stand out at. Like I got a phone that's purely dedicated to clients, checking up on people, like it's just making sure they're good, and even if they don't buy anything, because a lot of people think, he's just trying to keep in contact because hopefully I become a consumer one day, and that's not the only thing. But I really genuinely check up on people because I know a lot of these businesses, if you don't buy from them, they never gonna check on you, and they don't care. And
go.
most of the people that I talk to or anything, like we're making genuine connections as well. So like he a client, but he's my friend too now. His name is Thomas. Like with this 1 year old baby party. You know what I'm saying? Like, things like that. So it's not only about, making money, but it's also the genuine connections and helping people and you being a resource and a vessel, for others.
Most definitely, man. Most definitely. So this kind of ties in with the question I just asked you, and
Hmm.
hopefully, I don't sound redundant in that vernacular,
You
but
good.
if I wanted to become a client or anybody that's watching, with Ken Stevens Jr. and his company and his business, what can I expect? What benefits and what advantages can I anticipate when working with you and becoming a client?
The number one benefit that working up, I don't talk about it much on my social media. You would have had to been following me for a while. Is that I was an educator for 6 years. I just got back into it, but I'm doing admin stuff now, so I'm not in the classroom. But I was an educator for 6 years in the classroom. I taught African American history and world history.
Mm,
So I come and I have a master's in educational leadership.
wow.
So I really am methodical and I take my time. And when we go through these business plans, things like that, I go through it as like a teacher. And I have to tell people that on consultations because some people think that they're coming to me and it's gonna be this service of woo, 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 6 figures. And I'm like, no,
Yeah.
no, no, no. I'm giving you the real and I'm giving you the step by step on how we do this and how we grow to, getting those 6 figures. Not just you coming in here and then I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of this, a little bit of that, and then you good to go. That's not
Mhm.
that's not how it works. And that's one of the biggest things preparing people for that want to work with me because you got to understand you're not only coming here for to get your business started, but you're coming here to learn. And then the thing that I tell people when you learn what I'm teaching you, this is something that you keep forever, but you only pay one time.
Mm,
You get all of your Zoom recordings. You get all of the paperwork that we done with the steps on it, the PowerPoints, all of these different things to make sure you are good as well. And depending on the package that you get, you get phone calls with me throughout the year for free. You know what I'm saying? So and paperwork we will do for free for you as well. So it's really a lot of benefits to it. What we doing, a lot of people I would say they're not educated enough, and that's always the first step with us, making sure you're educated on what we're doing and you're making the right decision. Because my thing is, and some people might be okay with it, but I know I'm not. I've had people that paid me like 2,500, 3,000, and we're supposed to have multiple sessions, and then after like two, I don't hear from them. I'm calling them, texting them, and they just fall off the map.
mm,
I literally have no way to hit them up to give them their money back because I don't want it. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's like that. But there's been instances like that because there's people who aren't ready to follow through on the process because it was much more than they thought.
mm.
So that's one of the things we talk about, that mental, physical, and spiritual and financial aspect of things. Like those things have to kind of be in order. I ain't say it got to be 100%, but when you're coming over here, it's a little different. We
Yeah,
gonna
yeah,
work. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna really understand this and give you the real of what you're doing. Because I tell people all the time, I'm not the I'm not the sexy coach. You know what I'm saying? That's like, oh, you go put this bot on that, you go do it. Like, no, no, no. We really in the trenches and understanding, the depths of like starting this thing up and getting it cranked up. Because I want you to be able to do this one time. And then I tell people as well, a lot of people underestimate the fact that whatever I'm teaching you, go teach this to others. And that's how you go get paid too.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like
yeah.
you got a person that you could ask these questions. You got the people that could do this. Like plenty of my friends, I started the LLC. I was like, hey, yeah, I was like, don't worry about paying. Like, I'm gonna just record it. I was like, I'm gonna send it to you. Like, go start your side thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you got questions, ask me. Cause I was like, the way I got on to doing the LLCs was I paid a lawyer $1,000 to show me how to do it. And I was like, I want to know step by step. I want the emails, everything. He showed me everything that he doing. And that took me from, being able to charge a certain price to like 4X in the price. And that's simply because I went and paid a lawyer and he showed me there's one subtle difference in how to do it and the presentation of it as well that a lot of people aren't getting when it comes to getting their business formed.
Mm, mm. Yeah, man. I tell people all the time, bro. You gotta pay to get paid, bro. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You gotta pay to get paid. As simple as that. Simple and plain. You know. Yeah, man. So listen, audience. I want y'all once again to like. I want y'all to comment. Put y'all questions in the comment section below. If we don't get to all of the questions, or if we don't get to any questions, I'm gonna definitely, hit my man up, and we definitely gonna share his contact information with everybody so that you can also get in touch with him. And whatever questions you may have after this broadcast, you will be able to personally DM my man Ken Stevens about any questions concerning his business affairs and any questions that you have concerning your business and everything that you want to know as well. But I want you to keep sharing this broadcast. This is good. This is going good so far. He's dropping so many gems and giving out so much information. You don't want to miss it. And you also want to be a blessing to other people by sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge, and allowing them to also tap in to what's going on right now. So we at the tail end, but I want to ask you a couple more questions.
Okay.
The next question, man, it's another two-parter. So what was the toughest moment? If you could just think about all of the moments you had in business, what was your toughest moment in your business journey so far? And how were you able to overcome it and grow from it?
I would say definitely the toughest moment. It's two of them that happened. The first one was with a client. I think that client was like $1,500. I think for that client.
Mm-hmm.
But I realized when we are doing a consultation, the type of questions that she was asking me, that I wouldn't be enough for her as a consultant.
Mm.
And I got off the phone and then I talked with my assistant at the time, and I told her what she was asking me and the questions, and I was like, "Would you be comfortable working with her based on what I told you?" And she was like, I don't know." And I was like, if you saying I don't know, then it's a no. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so, and that was the first time I think it's only ever been twice. Twice I've refunded somebody in 3 years.
Mm.
And I just sent the money back to her. I said, listen, like, there's no hard feelings, no anything, but I just feel like I'm not the person for you to work with just based on how you, like, we already are kind of not clashing, but it was just some questions that was like, if you're asking this, you have some trust issues going on. And I don't want to be the punching bag for that as we're working through, building a business, because this is something that you have to have some level of patience with and understanding, and something that takes time. And overcoming that, I just gave her money back, make sure we had an understanding, sent her over the dissolution like contract, and tell her like, you got your money back. This is, it was all sent back to you, and we're terminating the contract. And yeah, so that was one of them. And then realizing when I lost, that was $17,500. So
Wow.
that was one of the toughest ones. Yeah, not gonna lie, that one almost I put the business at risk with that, investing into a program with someone on the team, and I thought I was doing the right thing by trying to help somebody out because I'm a giver. That's like really in my heart. Like I feed the homeless. Like I do all of these type of community things. Like where I'm at. That's just who I am. You know,
Yeah,
especially when there's people close to me and I care about. So that was something that was really tough for me because I realized in that moment, as an entrepreneur, just as a man and a person in general, I wasn't as good as I thought I was because you tend to think you start making money, you make your six figures, things like that. Um, it feels automatic. I'll say I always been the man, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. But it was that moment right there where I was like, dang, like I'm not as hot as I thought I was with this, or as smart as I was with my money, and doing something like that and putting the business pretty much at risk during that time period. And then realizing, people's motives and different things that they want to do. It really helped me out, though. It was a lot of good that came from that because that helped me understand money, helped me understand people, and then helped me understanding myself better and how to work with my money and the money that I do have, and to make sure I don't, basically blow any more money. As far as investments, working with different people, collaborating with different people. So that was like a big learning lesson for me and one of the toughest ones. And just overcoming that, I had to make sure I put myself on a tight budget, hide money from myself pretty much. And then the biggest lesson is learning to say no, and it's okay,
mhm,
you know. And that's like how I overcame that situation as far as business and like personal. Because like I said, I didn't say this, but a lot of people they like to say the term, and it can apply sometimes, but I don't necessarily always agree with it. They say is business is nothing personal, but I don't necessarily agree with that because it's like the business that I have. I know for me, I started this from my mind and my brain. Like that's personal as it get. Like this
mhm.
this is my insides that is outward. You
Yeah,
know what I'm saying? I made this come to life, and if something you're teetering with or messing with, like I'm taking that personal
indeed.
because this is
Yeah,
something that I've built. I put my name on. You know what I'm saying? So it's people. I think learning that, telling people that, and learning like everybody don't operate on the same frequency as you. You know what I'm saying? And understanding that and seeing people for who they are and being able to compartmentalize these partnerships, these relationships, these friendships, family ships, situationships, and whatever they may be.
indeed, man. Indeed, absolutely, absolutely. And kudos to you for getting over all of the obstacles that you had to overcome, in order to continue to excel in your area of business, and doing the things that you're doing right now. That's very inspiring. A lot of people, they love the success stories, they love a comeback kid, but I feel like sometimes they don't really get to hear a lot of the flaws that entrepreneurs make. As us as entrepreneurs, a lot of people, especially in this generation, they don't get to hear a lot of the flaws. They only hear the successes, they only hear the wins, but they never hear the losses that we have to take in order for us to really learn and grow from all of the obstacles that were in our way, throughout this journey called entrepreneurship. And I honestly believe that, it's not the wins that make you a great entrepreneur, it's the losses, that you take, and the lessons that you learn from the losses that you took in order for you to propel to that next level of greatness as an entrepreneur. You feel what I'm saying? So
Oh
definitely
yeah,
celebrate you for that, man, because it's not easy. I definitely know, being an upcoming entrepreneur myself, and that's just a part of it, man. We're gonna go through those hurdles and obstacles, but it's not what happens to you. It's what you do and how you respond to what happens to you, man. And you definitely responded. You're like a true entrepreneur and a true, man that really strives to become great in what he does. So I definitely wanted to, shout you out on that respect. Um, so we coming up on the tail end of this interview, but where does Ken Stevens Jr. want his business to be in the next 5 years?
cool. The next 5 years. How old am I now? Well, I'm 31 today. Is my birthday.
He
So,
said, "How old am I now?"
yeah, yeah, I'm 31 now. So, the the next 5 years, as far as the plan, because that's how I like to plan 5, 10 years. I'll be in the works of starting a learning center. So I'm currently working as an admin at a charter school. I worked in education, but it was in the public sector, and I got to learn education from a teacher standpoint. But now I'm learning at a charter from the business standpoint because they let me see the numbers. They let me understand, like, it sounds kind of messed up, but how much this student is worth.
Yeah.
You get to learn all of the interworkings, and I'm learning those things now because I'm going to be opening a learning center, and I want to have financial literacy, entrepreneurship, and some trade jobs in there because this is where they kind of falling short at schools. They're trying, but it's just not enough of those resources out there. And I want to be one of those vessels in the community. So I do want to open a Black Agenda, learning center where they can have that extracurricular time, after school to learn about these things, so students don't pigeonhole themselves. Because that's one thing for me. I was selling candy in sixth grade, but I didn't know I was doing entrepreneurship. If somebody would have explained it to me, is that I would have been on go mode since 12 years old, knowing that
Yeah.
hey, this people make money doing this, not because you can't make the connection. You go buy candy because you consume it at that point. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're not making the connection between the money aspect of it and things of that nature, and how it could go for your entire life, not just for that time period in your life. So
Yeah.
that's something that I'll be doing, and then we're working on our trucking company as well. Me and my best friend. So that's the next endeavor this upcoming year. We'll be collaborating on that. So that'll be the next thing in this next year. So as far as the business, we're looking to do at least 5 million. So that's our
5 mil. All
goal.
right.
Yeah, at least like that's on the. I mean, that's on the bottom. I feel bad even saying that, but in the next 5 years. But um, yeah, as far as the business and the trucking and things of that nature, because now I'm looking into doing businesses that are like very lucrative and things that are be used like every single day, and then automating systems a little bit better. So that's the thing that I've been working on right now because in this season of business, we're going through a recession. Black people, I feel like we've been going through it our whole life,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
so I don't really see it. I mean, the only thing that's killing me is groceries, but outside of that, um, people aren't really spending money on certain things at this point, but learning this is the season for you to actually start planning better and being more consistent. So when you make it through this time period, people like even during the recession, this person was still pumping. They didn't just pop back out when things got good. So it's like that's been the biggest thing I've been working on like right now as far as the business, making sure we have visibility, brand awareness, still taking care of the clients that we do have, and keeping everything on point. But next 5 year learning center, the trucking business, those are the main two concerns. And we have our nonprofit, but that's pretty much run itself right now. So I'm not too concerned with that. And that's like the longest play that I have. That's like something that's gonna outlive me. So it's not something that I really concern myself with too much because we got a lot of people in place. But those
Love,
are the things, yeah, right now.
love it, bro. Love it. Love it, man. So, what advice would you give, knowing everything that you know now, in business and life, entrepreneurship? What advice would you give a younger Ken Stevens Jr.?
Oh, a younger Ken Stevens Jr. Ooh. I would say the biggest part for me is learning that everybody isn't on the same page as you, and
Mm,
learning people's heart more than you learn what they're saying.
mm,
Because that's something that's very, very huge, and take your time and when you're doing things, because like I stated earlier, I'm an executor. I'm a person that get things done. That comes from my athletic background because I won't say it's trauma because I don't want to use that word, but it comes from being an athlete where playing football, one of the things we're always taught was next play, to have the next play mentality. So it's like, all right, if this ain't go right, all right, we got another chance. We breathing, we good, we got legs, we working. All right, next play. And it's like you can't necessarily always apply that to business because that's when you could crash out because
yeah.
you always moving on to the next thing, and you might be missing these minor details that can make a world of difference for you in the business. And that's one of the biggest things. And just be better with your money once you get more money, because and understand that you once you get more money, you're going to give away more money, but know that there's a budget to what you're giving away. Because if people ask me a lot if I was to win the lotto or Powerball, whatever it may be, and I was like, yeah, I was like, I'm paying off everybody's house that I know. I was like, that's the first thing. I was like, because I was like, I want to eliminate the biggest bill they got.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to, and I was like, that's gonna take care of a lot of financial. Now we're gonna see what you're gonna do with that before we give you anything else, because
Yeah.
you we just eliminated a whole lot of debt. So, and that's like one way that I had to start thinking, because I would be like, oh, I'm giving everybody $1 million, and it's like, nah, not necessarily. You don't know if they even ready to have that type of money, you know,
Yeah. That's true.
and it's just having an understanding of yourself, and understanding that don't be hard on yourself, and you're gonna be all right, and you're gonna make it no matter what.
Indeed. Indeed, man. Well, bro, we definitely at the end of the broadcast, I just wanted to say thank you, man, for joining me, bro. I know you definitely busy. You got a lot going on, so definitely thank you for taking this time to be a blessing to the audience, by coming on this broadcast and just sharing your wealth of knowledge and just letting the people know what it is that you do. How can the people contact you, man, if they definitely have any questions or they want to become a client?
Oh yeah, they could just go on my Instagram at Ken Stevens Jr. They could just DM me the word plan or LLC. I'll be responding to that personally most of the time. And then they could honestly just shoot me a text with your name and where you found me at. The phone number is 561-599-3705. So that's the business line. Is text, call, all of that. You could just hit us up there. And those would be the main two ways to contact me if you want a faster response, so that we could get it popping and book you in for a consultation. And I'll just say the consultation is really to get to know you before we really getting into money, because I gotta know that you got the spirit and you're someone that I'm gonna be willing to put up with. And I hate to put it that way, but it's like you gotta know who you're working with. It's just like if you had a coworker, the ones you can't really talk to because y'all gonna get carried away,
Yeah.
the ones that like you can't really deal with because they just not a team player. So yeah, just yeah, but that's how you contact me, and we'll get it popping. Make sure it's something that makes sense, and you are ready to do that for yourself and your family and whoever else that may be involved.
Love it, bro. Love it. So, any last minute gems or remarks that you want to give the audience? There's a lot of young people that's going to be tapping in, a lot of young adults, and even older ones as well. But what's some last minute gems that you can give the people watching before we leave the broadcast and the show today?
I would say one of the biggest things is like my saying I have another phone call. My bad.
It's
But
all good.
I should have put it on sleep. But the biggest thing I would say is the business saying, be proactive, not reactive.
Mm,
Um, and in the sense of doing that, if you're looking to get on this journey, even if it's just a life journey that you're on, just try to get ahead of things before they get ahead of you. And if you can't, just make sure you're in a position to catch up and manage things, because you're not always going to be able to control them. Sometimes it's going to be about management rather than control. And just truly understand that while you on your life journey, your entrepreneurial journey, or whatever it may be, because it's not something that everybody could do. And if they could, trust me, everybody would be these millionaires, multi six figures. It's not something that's super easy. And you're going to take a lot of losses, more than you could probably count. And a lot of people are going to count you out multiple times, even if you're a winner and they know you're a winner and they know that's in your heart and in your DNA. They still are going to do it. And you have to have the mental, I would say, like fortitude to understand that that's going to happen, and how you react is going to matter a lot to those situations and what people say about you. So I would say just make sure you have those things intact, and just like we stated earlier, the mental, the spiritual, the physical, and the financial aspect of things, have that in order as you are growing into business, and get with some good mentors or even coaches. as far as getting a business started. Even if it's not me, get with someone that could give you some type of insight. And even if you don't like the person and what they kicking, the biggest thing you'll learn is what you like and what you don't like, and that's worth more than any amount of money you'll ever make. Because you start to learn yourself, and that self awareness is super important as you go into life and business. And a lot of people take that for granted, and they don't learn themselves until after they get into some pretty messed up situation. So just be proactive in that sense, and I think you'll be good to go.
Indeed, man. Well said, man. Well said, King. So listen, man. There you have it, my man Ken Stevens Jr. Appreciate you once again.
Hey,
Again, y'all can definitely follow him on Instagram, on IG at Ken Stevens Jr. That's at Ken Stevens Jr. You know, y'all can definitely DM my man, man. He got a lot of things going on. He can definitely be help you in whatever questions you may have. He has the answers. He has the solutions, and he will definitely take care of you. Him and his business will definitely take care of you. If you need LLC done, you need a proper business plan established. You know, you're not sure where to go in business or how to get started. You got to hit my man up. He's definitely going to take care of you, and he's definitely going to prepare you with the tools and the equipment necessary in order for you to strive and to thrive in your business. All right. So with that being said, I want y'all to again share this broadcast. You know, once again, I want to thank my team, my production team, my media team for rocking with me. You know, for definitely supporting me and for helping me begin the show, start the show, and even close the show out. You know, so I truly and greatly appreciate my team. And I definitely appreciate y'all. Definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in. Y'all could have been doing anything. It's Monday. Y'all know, going back to work after the holidays is definitely hard for a lot of people. Or even if you just at home chilling, a lot of us are tired. Some of us are beat. Our bodies are fried because we working on the weekend. We spending time with family. But we thank you for tuning in. We hope you were blessed. We hope you definitely learned a lot of information that my brother just dropped on this afternoon. And again, we pray that we see you on next week. Again, next week, we're going to be here same time, same place, 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the various platforms, on the Go Judah Broadcasting Network, on Facebook, on the Go Judah app. That's the global app itself. Definitely on YouTube at Go Judah, on Amazon TV, on Apple TV, and on Roku TV at Go Judah. Make sure you tune in every Monday at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Money Talk Mondays. All right, I love y'all, and until next time, I will see y'all at 12:15 Eastern Standard Time. And I think it's your birthday today too, right, King? I think it's my man's birthday.
it is.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So happy birthday, my man.
Appreciate
Y'all wish my man Ken happy birthday, man. He came on here. He could have been, turning up, doing his thing, all day and all night. But he came on here. He wanted to be a blessing, and we definitely appreciate that, my man. Once again, so y'all make sure y'all wish him a happy birthday. But listen, I ain't gonna hold y'all up, man. We will see y'all next week, same time, once again at 12:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for another episode of Money Talk Mondays. I'm your host with the most, Jawaan Sween, and I will see y'all next week. Peace, love, and blessings.